time remaining. Can he go going for the Kukli right now? He needs to have some sort of info, but it would be way too risky to even check down on long, as there is Morishko just waiting for his opportunity, and he finds the headshot. Pistol round taken by the Sinners side, and there we have it already. We get off to a T-sided round.
Yeah, no, very simple. I did not think it was going to go well after they were struggling to push up. You can see here, like, the first two fries go in favor of BC.Game, but it's actually, it's actually Mikey who just completely saves them. And when they get put into this 3 versus 5, they just kill everybody. And apart from one isolated kill from Lecro, it was all Sinners in the kill streak. Now, the CT side on an eco, running up mid.
Okay.
They're all dying. Mikey's farming. It's happy days.
It is happy days indeed. There we go. Looking on down to it, the MAC-10s do manage to find a couple of kills as well. So the kill bonus is going to be coming on through. And you are right, actually. Lecro is probably going to be the IGL into this one.
I don't know. I thought it was Lecro. I had in my head it was, but I'm trying to see if it actually was or not. I'm not 100% sure. I think when I was speaking to someone about it, they were like, oh, it makes sense if Lecro IGL, but I don't know if it actually is. However,
Oscar.
regardless, Oscar, that is a nice... He gets boosted up. Him and Guardian would have played a lot against each other throughout their careers. So now we have one player as a coach, one player still as an active AWPer, and guess what? He's got the first AWP kill of the game, and the opening kill in round 3.
Anarchist has got one of his own, though. Let's see if he can trade it back down there on short, as Morishko is going to be pushing up with the MAC-10 surely in a second now. They're waiting down for the call to be made so they can just jump on out here from long. Mikey trying to take first contact out there. Element smoke deployed. Prime is going to find one. Looking in for the second. The A1S connects on the headshot as well. Shuts them down and already makes this one an advantage for BC.Game, as the IGL is going to find himself off onto the frag on B. And we're left on down to a 4v2. I think Oscar might actually want to call in for the save here. He is on the AWP. Not really a lot to do. Morishko is segregated down in towards short. If he can pick up a rifle, I'd say this wouldn't be the worst of saves, but Oscar is still going to try it. And, oh, whiffs out the shot. Unfortunate there for Oscar, but that is going to be Prime shutting down the whole push onto long.
Easy peasy. I think the one thing with this roster that really impresses me is the genuine amount of firepower. Like, you look down the list, you've got Sassanito and Joel, who are both 2-star players in their own right. You've got Anarchist, who's got a very high skill ceiling as an AWPer, and Prime Taps, who's someone I wouldn't have necessarily put as, like, the one guy that's going to get a triple in the first gun round. Look at what he's been able to already show. I think he said to HLTV that he was very happy that he found a team so fast after 5W, and he's extremely excited to play with experienced players like Lecro, and he has his opportunity, and I think now it's his first big opportunity at like a HLTV level on this team, and he's going to show why he should be here.
Now though, it's going to be the forced investment out here actually. We do get to see Sinners trying out the MAC-10 again there onto Morishko. Pushing up short. There aren't really a lot of avenues here on Dust 2 for Sinners to really take control over. Usually we do get to see the short play being tested. We don't get to see him too much, so now we don't get to see a lot of action there too much. So now, mid control being taken, Sinners, they're going to be playing this round slowly, as they're most likely going to be waiting for Shock out here, or for B-Stick to find something to work with if anybody kind of goes out of their spot. Pushing up on middle now, it's going to be Yoel on first contact. Let's see how much damage can this red AK do, as Yoel finds one. Looking on down, it's going to be Prime helping him out. Yoel finds two, and that is going to be the shutdown on the force fly. Oh, and a flawless one as well. Yoel on the quad kill. And there you have it. BC.Game make it 2-2, and they should be taking the advantage as well with that one.
Yeah, not a massive like a full investment into that round, and it gets completely nullified. You would have thought that Joel's playing up against ecos, like he's just swinging, he's owning, and even though there was no utility down towards tunnels, I could have thought that if B-Stick had put a little bit more pressure through B tons and aided his teammates that were coming up from middle, there could have been a little bit, maybe more distraction. But Joel, he's on fire. He's already running up middle. He's going for the ace. Could be his first ace. Nope. Sassanito steals it away. We go into round 5 and Joel's 10-3.
That is definitely the start you wanted out of him, right? There we go. We get to see him actually.
Like, I think one thing is, like, it's the start we wanted, but for me, it's the start we expect, and it's the performance we have to anticipate from Joel. He's been putting up, I spoke about the stats he's been putting up against some very high-tier opponents. He's someone that I feel like is on a consistent redemption arc for the next couple of months, maybe even the next year because of his history. I think he's someone that we have a lot of expectations for, and he's really shown it.
He has. Now, we are going to be going into round number 6 here with a scout on Oscar. Everybody else going in for their usual AKs. Not a lot of util out here for Sinners into round number 6. Taking mid control again is great, but we have seen BC.Game just allowing Yol to stay out here very defensively and just always deny these pushes. So if he's gonna keep doing that consistently, there's nothing to worry about. Beautiful team coordination out there from Lekro and Kakanito, but right now, it's still gonna be that mid push finally going on through. Anarchaz ready to go with the op though. Connects on Morishko and leaves us into a 3v3 with low HP on the shock. He's used up all of his utility. They have information of where they're coming in from. Having to check CT once more though. Anarchaz gonna be seeing it clear. Lekro staying onto the A side as well, not seeing anything. This is going to be a pull for B as Anarchaz sees one, shuts him down, realizes there's a second one as well, and connects with the AWP. Beautifully played here from the scope of BC.Game. Looking in for the fourth, and Anarchaz gets it. Solo holds on the B bomb site, and there was nothing even to worry about when you had this man on the op. Really well played from Anarchaz. Look at that. Just
That is why I want to see Anarchaz back on the server. He has full confidence. He's just jumping around. He does not care. And this is going back to my previous point of BC.Game have so much firepower on this roster. It's like anybody can multi-frag. Prime taps. He's already done it before, and he's going to do it again. This time only 2. But look, everybody else around him is succeeding. And you know what, Anarchaz? He doesn't need vision. He can get a wall bang through the smoke. Who cares? This is looking really dominant from them in their opening game.
Yeah, calling the vision right now. He's 7-2. He's gotten all those kills with AWP. I think only a single one at the beginning was gotten with something else. And Yol is going in for the double op setup. I love this. Off the bat, double op setup onto the CT side of Dust 2 is absolutely amazing. And the fact that they're trying to keep up this advantage, they're realizing the position that they're in and they're saying, okay, you know what? We need to just dial this up to 100 even more. It's been working out perfectly. Let's keep it going. And this is also the first round we get to see Oscar on the AWP, but he's got a lot of competition right now. So let's see if he's going to work it out with a double nade on long. That's already going to be him down to half HP though.
A slow burner for Sinners as we hit the 1 minute and 30 mark. Full mid control. They've been allowed that grace. The issue is, if they do push further into middle, you're going to have this reaction from Joel and Prime Taps where they're now pushing towards tunnels. This could be a massive interaction, and Joel, that frag onto Shock means that Sinners now know they have no control towards the B side of the map, and they're forced to go up short. And guess what? They go up short into Sassanito and Anarchaz.
And Sinner, oh, there you go. BC.Game, no. They're going to be coming up from short. And this is a complete total crunch down that we get to see out here from BC.Game. They just demolish out there into lower tunnels, into short. They just completely shut down that whole engagement from Sinners. And Mikey is the last man standing, half HP, just trying to hold on to a measly AK. Ooh, checks in behind, actually. Love the fact that he had the awareness to actually hear out there for Prime. Don't think he heard him, however, still manages to find the frag. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, he's going to be trying to deal as much damage as possible. Doesn't look like he wants to go in for the save. And there we go. The double op setup still going throughout here for BC.Game. 6-2. This is definitely a start that you want to have on your enemy's map pick.
I mean, it's just a perfect, like, that round is just kind of perfect. Like, I legitimately do not know what else you'd want to do. You have this calculated aggression. In both elements, you have a rifle with the AWP, worst comes to worst, and it's just amazing. You push them on the B, on B, you then force them up short, as I said, into the crossfire. It's already been established, and then you're able to iron out the round. BC.Game on the CT side of Dust 2 right now, they're not missing a beat, and it does help when everybody is firing on full cylinders, and Letcro is just there at the back cheering them on. A tactical pause call, and I think it's a very needed moment for Sinners just to take a second, because they have been losing these gun rounds quite decisively. We're going to go on a low buy, and in the next gun round, if they don't win, then we're going to really see this map go away from Sinners in a very fleeting manner.
Well, let's see it now. As Sinners have definitely got a lot to prove into this one, because as they are fleeting into this round, into this first half at the very least, there is the possibility of that comeback. We saw it yesterday actually go throughout here for the CCT. I wouldn't be surprised if definitely put Sinners as a team that could try to find some of these rounds, and ooh, Letcro falls down to 20, although still denies that push in towards long. So right now, we are going to get to see BC.Game still hold on to their stations, with Prime being the only one anchoring down into this B-bomb site as the rotate comes through from Sinners. We should be seeing quite a fast engage. We've got 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and a Molotov out here, most of which are going to be onto Shock. They're throwing them out. Shock preparing it here for close. Flash goes through. Tech9 ready to move. And Prime is going to be looking to try to find as many kills as possible. Let's see. That's one looking for the second. Gets it as well. Tech9 to the dome. But right now, still, the damage has been dealt. Yoel just takes a turn back. Waits. Oh, doesn't wait at all. That is a crazy flick to connect onto Oscar. In from behind on tunnels. It's going to be Kakanito as well. Trying to cleanse up. And that's exactly what he does. Amazing retake out here from BC.Game. Even though it was only up against the eco, that was aggressive. And it was decisive as BC.Game take themselves up to 7.
I'm just quite confused about that entry from Sinners. Like, where were the there were flashbangs, but they seemingly weren't used. I was kind of looking at that round shape up, and I was thinking, oh, this is actually going to be going really well. Look, we have Prime Taps completely alone on that B bomb site. You have Joel who gets smoked off. He can't really help with the AWP, and they have ineffective entry routing, so they are unable to deal with Prime. He gets a double, and then Joel didn't need to get that op shot, but you can tell he's on fire. And speaking of AWPers, now we head into round 10. Letcro, he's on fire. He's given the AWP back over to Anarkes, but that's a very aggressive opening kill for the European squad.
And the fact that Anarkes still holds down out here into long, even though they found the opening frag, is great. He doesn't play cards, he decides to play defensively out there for Goose. He moves away, and now I think information has been gathered. As they're trying to slow walk their way through. Anarkes connects on a flick as well. These ops are looking mighty right now, Freddy. He finds the double, looks in for more. B-stick, nice headshot to trade back, but it might be too late. Right now, you're checking down on long, and maybe Morishko's gonna make it happen! Morishko, beautiful double, even on 9 HP. He looks on in from ramp and finds them both, picks up the op, and now a 2v2 from a 2v5 post-plant scenario. And Morishko needs to hold on long. If he dies, the round is over, but he's already traded himself out. So 1v1, Yoel has to beat B-stick if he wants to win this round as well. B-stick playing in from CT, close up to the wall right now, just waiting for the player to jump up, and a single bullet is all he needs to end off the round here for Sinners. Such a well-played round from both sides.
As soon as that round looked like it was going to be the demise of Sinners, you got Anarkes getting a very aggressive multi-frag. It's a 5 versus 2, and Beastick and Morisco, they hit some fantastic shots. Super aggressive. The fact Morisco goes 1 for 1 here, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, look, Joel, look how well he's playing. But Beastick, the IGL, he's an IGL that I always mention that I do think he's got a very high ceiling when it comes to fragging. game, and right there, he exhibits it perfectly. Now, can this be the motivation and momentum that Sinners were looking for to get themselves back into this game? Because it's been a very slow start for them. The issue is, look at this aggression that BC.Game are instilling, and we've seen this setup before. This time, though, it's not going to work.
This isn't the first time they've done this though. BC.Game have always been aggressive down towards tunnels, but this time Sinners realized how to play up against it. They've left Oscar down on middle to deal with all the space, and they've taken control over the A side immediately as they've gone short. Yeah, it's round over. It should be. But at the same time, they do have more than enough cash out here. It's the penultimate round of the first half. I'd say they'd want to go for this in theory.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to be moving in through short to try to do it. Let's see if they can take down Oscar before they actually get a move on. And Yol finds him. Beautiful. Out here on the quick take. But they're running out of time. Even if they try this, they're just going in to try to take out as many guns as possible. And this is a perfect play as well. Right now, they're not going to have the greatest of vibes coming back into this one. And you can see that they're forcing Mike to stay out here next to the bomb as Joel finds the last frag. This is a very well played round for BC.Game. They've realized that even though they aren't going to be winning out the round, they have more than enough cash to go for this one. They took out all the guns, and now they should be on the advantage for the last round of the first half.
That was again a very strange round because BC.Game, I think what my guess,
And I'm not saying this is a definite because look, we can't be making there's only so much we can know about the team, but from my perspective, it feels like we're not going to have loads and loads of depth from BC.Game, and when we see them do the exact same play where 2 tunnel, 2 short, and 1 in middle, we see that exact same play being taken out. This time it doesn't work, and I think that could just be the lack of time maybe that's been in the saddle for BC.Game, because they are quite a fresh squad, even though they had the player break. So I think maybe they're still trying to find their footing a little bit. But regardless, as you mentioned, great damage, and now, ooh, this could be dangerous. That grenade could have been their downfall. Lekro, not known as an AWPer, strikes first, but Morisco strikes back with a one-top of himself. 2 players still remain, though, fortifying this B-bomb site. Sassanito's even pushed middle, and Sinners, they're crumbling at the seams.
Oh, they are 2v3 now, and it's pretty telegraphed. They're going to try to retake back into the A side, try to rotate around. This time, though, they are going to be making it through T-spawn and through lower tunnels. So a couple more positions to try to check out here for the remaining players of BC.Game. But the aggression they have to instantly go in for these rotates and just wait for it to happen. They've left Anarchist down onto the B-bomb site as an anchor, and they are playing this one absolutely perfectly. Should be 8-4 on the board right here for BC.Game, but let's see if I'm going to jinx it or not, as Oscar and Shock still do have a slight chance of trying to recuperate this round. 35 seconds, however, they need to get into that A site, and the only way in is going to be through shore. But look at Kakanito go, man. He's gonna have timing out here, but is he gonna be able to spot them out in time? No, he won't. They allow the push to pass through short. Kakanito still making a move on smoke. I think has been heard down there onto the site, and they're going to be making a move around. No one's checking it behind, though. 10 seconds left to go, and that is going to be Oscar to fall. The bomb to be planted out here from Shock. Nate goes through, and he should be dead in a jiffy. As there you go, Shock plays down on Goose, still peeks and dies. Well played, good attempt, but it's still going to be BC.Game winning out the first half, 8-4.
Yeah, that was a really well played round. Normally, the issue we would seemingly find is when we go towards that B-bomb site, there's not many players there. BC.Game have 3, and it's Lekro taking the first contact. They just are not anticipating Joel close. They're not anticipating the player in window. And even though the pistol round was won by Sinners, they really failed to gain any momentum here in that first half, and it felt like it was all BC.Game. Coming out on their debut, you can see that, look, Guardian, he was fantastic on this map, and right now the Orps, they're reigning supreme, left, right, and center. From start to finish, it was pretty much all BC.Game, apart from the odd really incredible round from Morisco and Beastic.
Yeah, I definitely felt like a lot of these clutches came through out here from Sinners to actually get them on the board, so we're either going to need to see a lot more of that or just a bit more team play coming into it. Kakanito right now just trading out here for Prime, manages to find Oscar in lower tunnels, opens up a little bit of space, but still as they decide to head on over towards short, we get to see Sinners actually join up together, band up, and get ready for apparently a mid push this time around. Morishko's gonna be the only one onto the A side, and he swaps out the bomb, turns it down. Mikey to be Molotoved off, but it doesn't matter. The USP still searching for headshots. Mikey clean. When it comes to the USPs, pistol rounds are gonna be a staple out here for Sinners as they win them both on their own map pick. CT side is gonna start things off well.
I'm pretty sure Prime had loads of utility, and because he was the first player to die, Sassanito only picked up a Molotov then afterwards. Regardless though, I'm not sure how much utility would have helped here, because look how crispy they were. They've won both pistol rounds now. Surely this is going to be a stepping stone they needed going in second half. No bomb down for BC.Game. A very decisive round. Sinners, hot on the press, already going to be pushing up middle.
We do have first contact out here on the MP9. Let's see. How many kills can it find? Deagle looking in for a headshot. Oh, gets it. Cacanito. There you go. Looking for the second, maybe. Are you hitting the lottery? Let's see those 777s. No. Hand cannon moves away back in towards tunnels. But that is a great opener to have. Oscar already taken on down. But now they realize, okay, it's surely the eco. No force fire shenanigans have been made. So I think the MP9s are going to be going in a little bit aggressive now.
No way, right? These Deagles, not even Deagles, Deagle of Sassanito actually ends up being a difference maker. I really want this to be a clean round for Sinners. Like, and
that's the bomb.
that's how you make it an easy round, where Bomb is the last player to jump up. Everybody was pretty much going the exact same way, and that's not a great result. Only two players staying alive is far from ideal. Sure, they both save A1Ss, but when it comes to the economy, if you lose this now, if Sinners now lose this round, they're gonna be dirt broke.
Well, if we want to look at the side of the glass that's still half full, there were only 2 rifles going into this round, into that last round, right? And those were the 2 A1Ss that got saved away. So, the 3 MP9s, yes, they did go down, but it could have been worse, right? He could have lost the rifle, and right now we were just seeing an even worse fight, round here for the side. However, first gun round out here for BC.Game, and they've already lost their RGL going in on the entry. He was trying to be very aggressive out here on towards long. The flash worked out. However, B-Stick was just a beast moving in through that smoke and actually finding the frag. So, with that man advantage now taken, Sinners shouldn't have too big of an issue trying to relegate manpower out here to the extremities and just try to hold on to their sites, their advantages. BC.Game. Again, they don't have a lot of openings onto the C side for now. They haven't made it easy for themselves. Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Something.
That's one way to do it. You take yourself in the Molotov, and then you go get their opening kill. That opens up a lot of space now for the BC.Game, because what it does, it forces Oscar to commit maybe towards short, and maybe that committal is the right idea. The spam goes crazy. He's upgraded to the AK, started off the round with a scout. In the meantime, Mikey, he's being caught off guard. He went to push long, didn't, now has run back, and Joel has heard all of this. Joel, the silent assassin, and alongside him, his team, they are running up short, but Shock puts an end to it. It's now a 1 versus 1. We've seen Sinners clutch before, but this time Joel, he will not falter. He will not fail. 4 kills on the dollar, and he puts BC.Game back in the driving seats.
And such an important round here for BC.Game. If they haven't won that one, we would have seen an equal scoreline. We would have seen Sinners taking away the advantage that could have cost them, honestly, the game, right? Because now Yoel managed to find himself off on a quad kill. He managed to clutch that up. He's 22-8 for God's sake. And BC.Game have still got a great chance of trying to make a comeback of momentum out here onto this T side and try to win out this their enemy's map pick. I like the tackle pause coming through from Sinners as well. Definitely much needed after a round like that one. Not any economy here whatsoever. We should be seeing BC.Game on double digits shortly. They're going in for the full investment. Oh, they're forcing. I mean,
they're on a double. Yeah, they are a double eco.
So, yeah.
Oscar actually has quite a lot of money. He only bought a scout and like 13k left over last round, so he was still chilling on like 27,000,
32K.
so 32k. So he could, oh yeah, 'cause he got kills, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he could buy up a scout and you know have some more weight to it. Anika's equally on the scout, and they both come head to head very early on. Anika's the one to take a little bit of damage. B-Stick, oh, this is a lot of aggression. Shock is also putting a bit of pressure from B tunnels, and that's forcing Sasanito to push his attention that way. And because of the smoke at the entrance, Sasanito's in a very uncomfortable position. Flashed off. That is a fantastic opening kill for Sinners.
That is a lot of pushing power out into tunnels. Oscar finds a headshot on the Prime as well. This round has turned on its head. This force buy really working out now for Sinners. They've gotten 2 frags, and Yol has got no chance of trading any of them back right now. That smoke denying the show onto Shock. He is on the AK as well. Might want to drop that over to Morishko on the full head armor. Doesn't really matter right now though. All they need is information, and they're playing in towards still tunnels here. BC.Game not backing down. Good thing is though, the bomb didn't get spotted, so there is still that sort of little bit of paranoia that they could be going in towards long, in towards A. They've got Mikey there, but he doesn't have armor. He's only on the defuse kit, and he's the only one on the deagle. Oh, but Shock now. He sees Yoel, shuts him down. This round played perfectly in the sense of that Sinners had the advantage when it came down to pressure onto tunnels, and they took full advantage of it. Shock is gonna go down here. B-Stick hasn't been hurt either. Could be an easy frag out here onto Necro if he doesn't decide to check on this one. Molotov in hand, and Necro kind of pushes up way too far from his station as B-Stick is gonna get traded on out. It's left in 13 HP with 13 seconds only to plant, and he is surely going to go on down. If not by the enemy, then by the timer. And there you go. That's a nice fake out, but a double peek in from window is gonna turn him in.
Oh, that was a world. There was a world where I saw Anakez hitting that spray on window. That round actually got a lot closer than I thought it would have. But that's a beautiful start from Sinners. Look, they had scouts, they had pistols, they had MP9s. You have to do something aggressive, and that's exactly what they do. They take a lot of primary space away from the BC.Game side, and in doing so, they also put Shock on an AK. B-Stick, that scout kill on short as well is massive, because it basically tunnel visions the whole of the T side over towards where they opened, where they attempted to start the round, and that was outside tunnel. And from start to finish, that was Sinners controlling the momentum of that round. Now, we're speaking about BC being put on Nico. Here they are. Morisco is very aggressive. He's actually going to get caught off guard for that. Maybe if he just held out his rifle, he would have had a little bit more success. And for Sinners, in this previous occasion, they only had 2 players stay alive. Let's hope that that isn't going to be the same case, and they can actually fortify their economy. It seems like that is going to be the case.
Yeah. Looking like it should be looking like the 9-8 right now. Oscar, a very pleasant surprise, the fact that we get to see him still being consistent even on that rifle. Right, we haven't seen a lot of op plays coming out from him because there haven't been the opportunities to actually pick up the scope. A lot of times we got to see Sinners just going on down and always, you know, being forced to be aggressive, being forced to take these fights. Because up until now they were onto that T side, they didn't really have the economy much needed either to match up to that double op that we got to see onto the CT side from BC.Game. And speaking of the AWP, Anarkez is going to be buying one up himself. So the competition is back online. And BC.Game, 2.9k loss bonus. They don't want to lose this round. Otherwise, Sinners should be able to actually bring it back out here onto the table and take the advantage.
Yeah, all of a sudden, this game, from my perspective, it was like kind of after the half, I was like, oh, BC.Game, I think they're just going to run away with this map. But Sinners, on their own map pick, winning that pistol round and winning those early decisive rounds has really changed the tides. As you mentioned, one round now splits these 2 teams. The CT side, it's the first time they've got that AWP out. Similar to Anakez, normally we've been seeing them on scouts with a lot more firepower. And for Anakez, I want to see him getting aggressive. He's currently playing a little bit more passive, and that is because he has Joel and Sasanito taking a lot of that space. But if they are going to go towards A, I'd love to see him get in the mixture and go for those opening aggressive picks surrounding his aggressive riflers.
Ooh, Prime, are you moving into your doom? No, you're not. There you go, spotting out Morishko, shutting him down immediately. Oscar
Wow.
forced to play back. Yeah, that is an opener and a half.
Well, like, that's just such a poor setup for Sit. Like, it's a great setup and they play it really poorly. Like, there's no way you should be allowed to get an opener like that.
Yeah, and yet still the Ninja there manages to move on ahead. Prime gets the opener. And now, oh, that's a big miss from Oscar as well. The second at least connects. They spotted out the bomb now, but they're going to be traded on out. And Yol just moving in through CT. Mikey didn't even expect it. That's the round. BC Game take it. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I was literally about to say, I was like, okay, they faked a mid to B. The issue is, Sinners still have 3 players towards A. And I was like, okay, Oscar's in the best position you could ever be in as an AWPer. You have 2 players on long. The issue is, B-Stick stays very deep and long. He's got an MP9, and he's maintaining that control towards long doors. And then both the A players fall, with only Oscar getting 1 single frag. BC.Game, that's a very decisive round where they were able to get an opener in a manner that I feel like they shouldn't have been able to get. That's very well done from Prime Taps, and from my perspective, it's literally the fact that they got that opener, they won that round, and they were able to close down Oscar after he was only able to get 1 kill on Lecro.
Yeah, but the way that we get to see these rounds is so, I don't know, interesting to put it, right? Because up until now, we thought definitely, okay, we should have seen a double digits round out here for BC.Game like 2 rounds ago. Now that we're seeing it right now, Sinner's still keeping it competitive, still keeping it going. You wonder who's going to be winning out the next, right? There's not really a lot of order to a lot of these rounds, and we got to see a couple of ecos actually go through as well. We got to see the force buys work out. Now, BC.Game on the advantage, surely on utility, on position. Oh, Oscar trying to push on up. He doesn't have a single flash to be helped on out by any of his teammates, but nobody expects him here, surely. Kakanito right now goes in with the AK. He had the pre-fire going as well. Just didn't connect onto Oscar. His position now known though. Prime, oh, doubles back, actually takes the fight and wins. So makes this one a 4v4. Great position at the early start of the round. Now, only turns up if Mikey can find this frag, and surely he will, right? This is such an off angle. Usually, this doesn't get checked. However, Prime doesn't go in all for it. Peek on in Morishko on the double peek alongside, I think that's B-Stick right now. And I still like the fact that BC.Game are playing this one slowly, but we're gonna get to see the round starting to go off in a second. Here comes the smokes, here's the execution, flash over the top, B-Stick has to deny, let's see him try to go for it. How many can he find there on short?
Are they committing towards short? Yeah, they're definitely going to now. Yeah, that's a very unfortunate round where Sinners just are not in a right place to counteract what BC.Game are doing. You only have 1 single player actually on that bomb site. The smoke and CT cuts off Morisco, and then Mikey is still focusing on long. We've seen that 2 rounds in a row now where Sinners have had a player deep long, focusing on long doors, and no one has come that way. I would love for BC.Game to start throwing in potentially some lurks as well here. I think that's going to really catch off Sinners. You've conditioned Sinners in these last 2 rounds specifically that you move more as a squadron, that you move more as a pact. Sure, there was 1 player in middle lurking, and I think that was Joel. Yeah. But I think playing a late burner over towards long will really, really work in their favor. Overall, though, that's a round where Oscar, he makes this really nice play up middle, and he goes by himself. That was the first issue I had, that he was completely isolated. He had no inch of support. Gets a very good first kill on Sasanito, and then feels like he has to fight. He feels like he has to go for this engagement. That wasn't necessarily the case, and because of that, he goes and dies. Prime catches him off. It goes to a 4 versus 4, and BC.Game are then able to just take a 1 versus 3 duel pretty much on that A bomb site. And as soon as B-Stick dies, so does the round with him.
Anarchy is down here on middle now. Shock is already going to fall down to 25, and immediately he peeks off early, just dry peeking on in. Morishko still finds a double, and this is already a wild intake for the first couple of seconds in the round of 2-4-2 going out here into tunnels. They've dropped away the bomb as well into the entry, 4 tons, so Lecro has to go and get it. Morishko staying in the smoke right now. Bomb retrieved. BC Game can go back to A right now. They only need to find Beastic on a USP on car. And they've got the whole site secure. That is a wild take for a very aggressive round. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's thought out well, but at the same time, we just got to see Shock there going in with 25 HP and no flash, no nothing. He got in knowing that he saw the flash over the top. He knew that they were probably going to be coming in aggressive, and he still decided to take the peek.
Yeah, well, I mean, from my perspective, that was to bait in for Morisco. You have 15 HP, takes the first contact, and it works out exactly how I think you'd want it to work out, where you go in, if Shock goes 1-for-1, that's best case scenario, but look, he got instantly headshot as well, so like the HP didn't even matter, and then Morisco does his job perfectly. Unfortunately, I don't think they're actually going to go for this round. They're going to go for the save. I'm not sure if they're going to... They have a kit, they have a smoke, and now they're actually both going to join up and play from CT, but the smoke fades at the most unopportunistic occasion for Oscar. He gets caught off guard, and Anarkez actually hits 20 kills, but Morisco might have found the gap. That's the first player on the bomb site, doesn't anticipate the second. His attention went to Anarkez, but got turned back to Lekro, and then Anarkez strikes from behind. Map point now for BC Game on their opponent's map pick.
Yeah, that was some great timing from Anarkez as well. The fact that he doesn't get spotted there on the peak on in from Morishko, it could have been a 1-to-1 remaining after that kill on Prime. However, didn't happen. So now BC Game, as you mentioned, yes, they are on map point right now. On their enemy's map pick, mind you, right? We're going into Mirage next, which is their own map pick, and we're getting to see that puggy kind of game style coming in from them, right? Where individuals are definitely making the game right now, as we get to see from Anarkez, finding 22 frags with 9 deaths, and Joel as well, 25 and 12. So definitely the individuals are performing very, very well. But I'd love to hear what your opinion is on their gameplay as well as a unit after we get to see Prime absolutely demolish here on that double kill. There you go. I mean, there we go.
Yeah, the Sinners squad have been putting a lot of pressure towards B specifically. That's where a lot of their aggression has come from. And you can see it's just very much read into. Oscar, final man left for the Sinners squad. He's going to get spotted off guard, and he's going to get a consolation kill on Sassanito. Gets a bit of revenge, swings out, and actually does get one. It's helped by Joel. But BC Game, their debut map here on HLTV, they take Sinner's map pick, they take Dust 2, and now they go into Mirage, their map pick, with the wind in their sails, and most certainly vying for a 2-0 here to go 1-0 in the main Swiss here in Europe Series 6.
I think Guardian's going to be happy with that sort of opener, a sort of debut coming into the CCT. Looking down at it, Joel definitely performed as expectations were kind of put up onto him. Anarkez definitely went above and beyond, finding a lot of kills himself, so much impact on that AWP, played really, really nicely. And I think overall, everyone kind of fulfilled their roles and fulfilled expectations coming in here into BC Game. Very well done, very well played, Sinners. Morishko tried his best. We're gonna have to give that up to him, right? He had a lot of moments where he tried to come through for his squad. Beastic as well was definitely pulling through on the numbers front as well, being the IGL. But besides them, I really was expecting quite a lot more from all the individual players. However, as a unit, even though they kind of were just defaulting to a lot of basic positions and to a lot of basic strats at the end of the day out there onto the CT side, they did have something going on onto that T side. So if they can actually find themselves off on a nice little breakout here that we're going to be going for around about 10 minutes, if they're going to be getting some water on their faces and trying to reset going into Mirage, I still think there is a chance for them to try to take a map, but all pointers are going towards BC Game right now. So let's find out if they are going to be taking this one 2-0 or not in around about 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.
What's a super stream game? It's an extension that provides a valuable and engaging game within the stream you are watching. Join an active community and test your knowledge in a live race against expert chasers by answering trivia, prediction, and recall questions tailored to the content you are watching.
And welcome everybody here after the break to the second map of the best of 3. We've seen BC.Game being able to take away their enemy's map pick of Dust 2 in quite a very, well, I'd say nice fashion going on down there for the second half. Definitely showed what they got, and Anarkez and Joel just absolutely took it out of the park there with those kills. But now, will they be able to replicate on their own map pick of Mirage out here, Freddy?
I would believe so. I think after the showing on map number 1, we've really seen what BC.Game are going to be producing for not only in this series, but I think for the rest of this year. I think this is a really powerful squad. Like when I saw it getting built up, my first thought was actually, how is Anarkez going to play? And I saw a lot of those questions being answered on map number 1. Maybe not super aggressive as he might have been previously, where he kind of maybe took the game in his own hands and he was maybe the one player that you'd look at to open up the rounds. He still had a fantastic game. I think that's what's very interesting, is that he still had a 1.58 HP rating and went 22 and 10, but I feel like he was playing, especially on the T side, maybe a little bit more behind and working with Joel and Sassanito, who were creating a lot of that space as a rifle, like, aggressive duo. So I'm really excited to see like the evolution of Anarkez, and I'm going to be keeping a closer eye on him on Mirage as well. But yeah, I think looking at the performance on map 1, I think Sinners, they're going to struggle here on Mirage.
Yeah, well, I definitely have to agree, and especially a man that I don't think we have given enough screen time to as we move in straight to Mirage right now is definitely going to be Prime, right? He plays such a good anchor out there for that B bomb site. So let's move into it. Let's see if he's going to be able to do the exact same thing here onto the, well, when they move on over to the CT side out there for BC.Game. But until then, we'll be seeing a very fast intake on over to the A side, and Shock is going to have to deny it all by himself, basically, as we get to see a 3-man hold here from Sinners on B.
Yeah, I think Prime had, every time he was anchoring a site by himself, he multi-fragged, but yep, as you mentioned, we're going to the pistol round. Smoke's coming down. Issue is, Anarkez peaks before they do bloom. Shot gets goosed, but that frag is going to be way more important. B-stick with a kit, so as this bomb goes down, now Sinners are going to be opening up, priming for a retake, and they're looking great on these pistol rounds. The question is, can they continue it? 3 versus 4. Shock is 20 HP in connector. He needs to be very careful. He needs to survive and allow his teammates from CT to come through. That's exactly what they're going to do. Still maintain that advantage. 1 versus 3 for Letcro. The IGL, the bomb point for him. 2 players low HP. He gets the first frag, but Oscar, the only player with high HP, then picks up the kit and is able to defuse the bomb. Sinners so far flawless on the pistol rounds.
Well, there we go. 3 for 3 on pistol rounds, as you do mention, and the fact that they bought into that defuse kit and smoke definitely saved them a ton, because that just gave them pressure, right? BC Game were forced to get out of sandwich. They're forced to get out of ramp and actually engage onto the side to try to take them down, which they did, and the kills went through quite swiftly. But we got to see really Morishko finding that very neat headshot down on CT, and Oscar as well being clean with the other two. Now, we get to see the force buy being invested, of course, after the bomb being planted. It's to be expected from BC Game. And we do have ourselves 2 Galils, 2 AKs, and that Deagle on Lekro. Now, the utility that we get to see out here on the IGL is going to have to really do a lot, especially onto this B-sided take, if they do decide to go for it, which they're looking like it. However, from the minimap, I can see that we have one player down checking into underpass and the other waiting for an apartments push. So perhaps this time around, BC Game are going to be taking a bit of a slower approach down to Mirage. As, oh, Freddy, look on mid. We've got a little bit of action happening as well. And there you have it. Kakanito does not go down and doesn't find a kill either. Just a couple of bullets being exchanged out here, as Oscar should be able to find the first frag there onto top mid, and he doesn't. Prime falls down to 30. Yol trades on back out here as he goes in towards connector, gets fully flashed. Not allowed to continue his rampage. It's going to be Mikey searching for something, gets the headshot and runs away. Man advantage taken by Sinners, and only 45 seconds to get into the A site for BC Game.
Mikey definitely shouldn't have been allowed to get that kill, but look at this nice reaction. Joel getting boosted up in window. Sassanito has to get this kill onto Oscar to allow space for Joel to work. That's exactly what's going to happen. They know about Mikey. Joel initiates, but it's not even him who makes the defying blow. It's Anakez. Speaking of Joel, finally he pushes his way forward, is able to clothesline those rotations because of his very advanced position. B-Stick is completely caught off guard, and a 4 versus 3 very quickly turned in favor of BC Gaming, as they don't drop a single player, as now they are looking to retaliate against that pistol round loss. And this time the difference was they got the bomb down. That wasn't the same case on Dust 2, so they're gonna have a much stronger buy here, and you can see what it pays out in dividends.
It does really pay out, and the fact that Morishko gets to save away the A1S as well is going to be huge, because if they were to lose all of their guns right off the bat here into round number 2, it would have spelled absolute demise. I think it's worse to be winning out the pistol round and then losing out the next round to the enemy, especially if you're onto that CT side, because it just gives away that momentum. It allows BC Game to get to 3-1, and it's really tough to come back from that. So if Morishko can get some damage into the next round and at least take down 2 or 3 guns, the game could be looking a bit more differently, and Sinners could try to actually keep this one a bit closer than we envision it. But yeah, of course, they are going to be on the double eco if they don't invest into the Deagles here. They're going to be trying out their best. Let's see what the Deagles and 5-7s are going to be doing out here for the CT side for Sinners into round number 3. And if you haven't spotted out up until now, Freddy, BC Game have got a nice little logo. There's a little Pac-Man there as the C.
Oh, is that the point?
Yeah, I saw that right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just kind of thought it was like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I was just like, oh yeah, it's like a, I don't know. Yeah, because the eye, yeah, you can see the white on the jersey, black on the logo. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Nice
And
touch.
they're gobbling up Sinners.
They
But
did.
yeah, no, that was a really good round, and I've got a feeling it's going to be exact same here. We've got a full buy from Sinners because, you know, double eco. They have a saved A1S on Morisco. Oscar's not investing massive, so he wants to still have that AWP saved up into future rounds. And BC Game, very similar to what we saw on Dust 2, playing a very slow approach to these games, playing very slow approach to these rounds, and it ultimately felt like they were going to end towards A, but now that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. It was a bit of a fakey, and I was mentioning lurking on Dust 2. I was like, who would be the one man to lurk? And Joel seems to be putting himself in those positions sometimes, and he's going to get utilized here as the rest of his team are going to come and join him as he's deep in B apartments.
Yeah, but Kakanito made half of this round work already. He just went in and flanked, as you mentioned, by himself. Managed to find two. Is going to be traded out by the third, as Shock is going to go in to try to save an AK. We got to see a very aggressive push coming on down from Brian here, trying to deny that, and he's not going to be able to. My goodness, Shock great on the 5-7, takes down two, and already made kind of this kind of this force by workout for Sinners. He managed to find Joel here as well. It's going to be looking great for Shock. Oh, no 4x3 shenanigans this time around here for Joel. Manages to spot out Shock, shuts him down. BC.Game still on the advantage. And they should be continuing it now. As I was mentioning before, we should be seeing the 3-1 scoreline right here, right now. And Sinners are going to have to bounce back from that big time. Because if they don't, this T side from BC.Game is definitely going to be a deadly one.
I like how they are able to fall back on a plan B there. You can see they wanted to go towards A, but because of the contact being taken on Palace and the utility dropped by Sinners, it forces them to reevaluate, and they do so perfectly. Issue now, I'm thinking, is don't die to the ecos. You know, let's keep this clean. They got a Mac 10 coming underpass, and it's only actually going to get one kill, and, well, only one player does fall. There's an AK top mid that Joel can pick up. Does he get it? No, he doesn't. So Joel's going to be forced to still stay on that SMG. And BC.Game now coming into the first gun round on their map pick. Because Oscar on their force buy, he didn't fully invest. He's going to be able to afford that AWP. Very good economical management. And he's going to have armor and a smoke. And Annika's actually going to have your power as well. So very early on, we're going to have a head-to-head in middle. Because look, both players have a very aggressive spawn.
They do. Oscar doesn't go in for the jump on short. However, he decides to hold on to underpass and wait for any incoming pushes that Joel is going to be actually peeking on in for. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get the first drop on who. Morishko's still doubling him down. He's pre-firing away on the A1S, and Oscar's not going to be needed in that engage. There we have him. Morishko finds one, and now they're about to be overwhelmed a little bit out here on the top mid. But there are so many CD-sided players now jumping up to the fray, trying to help him out. The spray transfer doesn't connect on Morishko, as he finds a triple into the round, brings Sinners back into the game here, into the limelight. As BC.Game are left in a 2v4, I don't even know how they're going to try to go about this one.
Damage, I guess, at this stage. Like, I can't imagine the round win being a possibility. Lecro might not be expected because he's so late underpass. Morisco actually does go to clear him, and ultimately it doesn't matter that he does fall. Morisco has had a fantastic round there. He basically takes everything into his own hands and does all that damage. There was an underpass setup between him and Oscar. I was a little bit scared with how Morisco was playing a bit wider than Oscar. I could see a world where Joel is able to take the close fight on Morisco and then also get the kill on Oscar, but that wasn't the case, and Morisco, still with that confidence, doesn't leave middle. Flashbangs come forward, the rest of the team are there to help, and Sinners, they just take mid, take all of that space away from BC.Game, and because of that, they win the rounds.
They do indeed. Now on to the next though, round number 6, full buy versus full buy. And whoever loses out on this one isn't going to be too happy, economically speaking. Juanito still being pre-fired through that smoke, falls down to half, and the nade, he's going to eat it for breakfast a little bit. Oh, actually, gets away from it. Doesn't take a single point of damage. Smoke onto top of Khan. Molotov on down towards Sniper's Nest. They're setting up this mid-engage. But will they fully invest for the A push? The bomb's left down at rotation. We are going to see Prime actually go in for the pickup. And yeah, again, the question is going to be, will they be attempting that A-sided peak, or are they going to be going in for the safe B hit? Now, of course, they have no information. The biggest point of info right now is the breach onto Mikey. Anarchist managed to find him out here on his second frag of the game, of the map. And things have taken... Ooh, Joel, I like this. He had the trigger discipline, but not for enough time. Didn't get to see Shock, at least not in time. Left him down to 20 HP, and now Beastic has to do it all by himself. The IGL gets one, surely to be found out by the next, though. Kakanito trying to peek on in, and he finds him. There we go, 25 seconds. Bomb's gonna go down with 20 HP onto Shock. No Bogdan's Law either. Oscar doesn't want to drop away that scope. We are going to see Sinners in a pretty disadvantageous position. And oh, there we go. Kakanito manages to find the kill. And Shock manages to find a save on the AK.
I like how he plays that there. He doesn't over-aggress, and he takes his time with the frag onto B-Stick, and then puts himself in a very advantageous position aggressively to deal with Oscar. Very nice round from Sassanito. And for BC.Game, this is a really good rebuttal after losing the first gun round in, I would say, quite a decisive way. You then bounce back. We're seeing Joel put himself in more of a lurker position here on Mirage on the T side, which, yeah, I guess I was kind of wondering, as I said, like, okay, we've got two aggressive players, how's it gonna work? And I guess Kaganito 11-3, that's how it's gonna work.
Yeah. But they're interchanging the roles of the lurker right now. I've seen Joel kind of go in for a couple of these rounds. Kakanito went in for it for a couple of rounds too. So, again, they're very malleable, right? You get to see BC.Game kind of play their own game here, and it's nice to see that the calls are still fluent coming in from Lekro. The game plan still works out in the big picture. However, the individuals are still allowed to do their own thing, which is very, very nice to see. Sinners, onto the saved AK from the last round. We'll be going in for the hero on the eco for B-Stick and Oscar. Morishko going to be saving away cash here alongside Mikey. And we'll get to see Sinners play this 2-3 setup for the extremities. No mid pressure whatsoever. We will get to see Morishko try to get a peek on in, but there is a smoke, and also he's only on a USP, so not much more than a microphone placed out there for middle. Joel, however, going to be waiting for that smoke to dissipate so he can engage onto the safe side and take the fight to the first letter of the alphabet. Kakanito, again on that lurking position, is going to be doing off in his own thing, in his own little world. Finding one and looking for even more if he gets the opportunity. But right now, Joel is going to be the one with the opportunity. There you have it. Finds the last piece of the puzzle to get the round one in the end here for BC.Game. Morishko.
Oh, this is a bit dangerous. Morisco's picked up the AK, catch them off guard. Oh, prime taps. Luckily, puts an end to that madness, brings us back to normality. I was thinking, like, okay, they've dealt with the one issue. The only trouble was Shock, but then Morisco, who was playing towards snipers, was able to pick up the AK, play around the smoke, and it got very scary for a second, especially considering that there was a player coming from ramp. I think Mikey he only had a USP in ramp, but if Morisco was able to get that third frag and survive, it would have allowed time for Mikey to then initiate himself and maybe kill someone from behind, which would have been Anakez. So a round that genuinely could have got very scary, luckily doesn't for BC.Game, and the anti-eco is played pretty well with only 2 players dying.
And now, even as they had 2 players dying, that still is going to be forcing Lekro to go a bit negative on the cash there. Gonna be dropped the weapon most likely by Kakanito. But until that happens, we will be getting to see Sinners on almost maxed out loss bonus, 2.9k, only 1 round away. But they're not planning to lose this round. AWP onto Oscar, they've gone in for the full investments. No defuse kits, however, so they're not really deciding to let this round go and be played out for a long time. Oscar immediately finds the off-pick angle at the beginning. Joel trades onto Morishko. 4v4 remaining out here, and mid is still going to be a point of interest. As Sinners do decide to slowly back away from it. They keep up pressure in towards connector. They redeploy the smoke down there. Joel, full belt of utility still going on down. Kakanito is going to be able to find a trade, but these trades are just coming in as skirmishes. We get to see them one by one go on in. And if Prime doesn't find his headshot onto Oscar, then the round is going to be on the shoulders of Lekro. Can the IGL find the 1v3? Bomb on his back. Strapped and ready to be planted. Where will he go? Right now into underpass, most likely into B, where he'll have to face off against the op of Oscar if he wants to get this round done and dusted with.
The Swedish veteran hasn't necessarily had the highest of impact so far in this series. This is a perfect time to step up. Oscar playing this perfectly. On empty pillar, yeah, it's amazing. That's kind of the best position to play when you're solo on a bomb site and you have one player on A and you're playing B, because you can hold short from that empty pillar, but you also get the sound cues of when they jump down from apartments. That's exactly what happens. So very well played from Oscar, and unfortunately Letcro doesn't clear his corners, and even though he's a veteran and he has all that experience, it doesn't come out and pay in his favor. BC Game, even though they got the opener from Joel, Letcro's 1 versus 3 was not plausible, and Sinners still maintaining something in this game. They're not allowing BC Game to get too far ahead.
Yeah, Letcro kind of took the gamble there, but we'll talk about it a little bit more after Joel finds a great spray transfer. He doesn't find the first one, but he does find the spray, and there you go. Oh my goodness, BC Game! Just overran on this A side. Prime about to get a little bit burned there onto Palace, but he doesn't. Still stays alive on 12 HP. Maybe a little bit smoked, a little bit barbecued, but that's fine. 6-3. And that's the fastest round we've gone to see out of this best of 3.
Yeah, a really good change of pace from BC Game. It's now conditioning Sinners to be a little bit afraid of something like that, because they do go for an aggressive play towards ramp. Sinners do. They have one player close ramp, they have one player on stairs. Joel, not even anticipating someone to be close, he pre-aims stairs and is still able to recalibrate his aim perfectly. Alongside that, he gets the second opener, and what I really love is how Prime Taps in Palace sees both players kind of around stairs and doesn't unnecessarily swing out and try to take the fight onto the player that was more exposed. Instead, he holds the deeper angle and it has the confidence in his teammates that they're going to be able to get that opening, and then holds for the third player. He finds it. So very nicely done from BC Game. A change of pace and just changing the conditioning a little bit, keeping Sinners on their feet.
See now, with a couple of rounds remaining into this first half, Oscar needs to save away that AWP. I don't think he's going to be going in as aggressive as you might expect him to go. Here, however, B-Stick, oh, he's going to be making it double fold out here. Finds the kills onto Anarchist and Kakanito, and now just completely turned this round around. AK onto Morishko, gonna be double peeking into underpass. Joel tries his luck, but still B-Stick finds him. This is the round B-Stick is gonna get with Oscar. Managing to come back around, shut down Prime Taps. It is gonna be Letcro last man standing once again, and the veteran Swede is gonna have his second chance, but this time around, he doesn't even have the bomb. Dropped on over to the top of middle. This is a precarious position to be in. With a whole minute on the clock, you might think, okay, it is maybe possible, but he needs to segregate these 1v1 duels so well right now.
Yeah, that was a perfect round from B-Stick. They had a saved AK, a saved AWP. There was no way that you really expected that round to actually go in their favor, but it does, and it's because of this full confidence, aggressive play up middle. B-Stick nails the first two, and then also Oscar's in a great position to help. That's fantastic from B-Stick. I don't think Anakin even knew what hit him. He was behind Sasanito. And yeah, lovely from Prime Taps to try and put it into the team's favor, but that's when Oscar steps in with the AWP, and Sinners a must-win round. This completely changes everything, because you can see from the economy of BC Game, they genuinely have nothing. Joel's the only player with full utility and a rifle, and see once again Sinners balls to the wall, up in middle, 2 players, very aggressive. It's a lot of space taken early for the Czech Republic side.
I mean, it's worked out so far. Why change it, right? Kakanito at this point in time is expecting it, waiting for the push to happen, and Sinners do not go above and beyond, right? They realize, okay, we went aggressive, we took up space into middle, that's all we need to do. They haven't pushed up mid yet. We're just going to be holding in our angles and waiting at the extremities for something to happen. For now, we have no information, but there comes the info, right? We're getting to see Joel actually drop away a couple of utils down towards connector, Incendiary down onto underpass as well, and he's not forced off of his position just yet. Joel still watching on down the window as the boost came through, got hurt. Kakanito took advantage of it. Mikey, a pretty big mistake there actually, losing out the man advantage in that manner. Big nade traded on back, but Kakanito still left alive. For how long though? Joel bad spot as well. Beastic just wants to peek onto him. He dropped away. Joel dropped his own head there in the push. Shot comes around. Spray transfer connects. And this is going to be Prime Taps all up to him to try to do it. And he does. Finds them both. One from jungle, one on under heaven. And this is left on a 2v2. This could actually be very doable for BC.Game.
I do like his positions from Sinners though. Look at Morisco. He's already very quick and ramp. I don't think Primetap's going to expect this, and you can tell he's not. Yeah, back turned. Now, Sassanito, 8 HP. He's in connector, and I'm pretty sure they know where he is. Yep, they have full idea. Beastic turns the corner, hits the headshot. And Sinners, it gets a little bit close. It gets very winnable. The 4 versus 2 becomes a 2 versus 2 retake, but they do get that retake very well. And it's because of how fast Morisco was able to react, push up from middle where he was, and come behind Prime Taps on ramp. This is looking like a much more even game than what we saw on Dust 2.
It is definitely. But right now you also have to remember this is BC.Game on their T side. They've picked up 6 rounds. I think they've made a decent half for themselves. Right now they are mostly going to be preparing for that second half of the map. And I think that was the case ever since the beginning. When they picked into Mirage, they were baited. They were not necessarily baited, but they were preparing for their CD side half of the time here. So we'll see how Sinners respond, and we'll see how aggressive they will be once that 12th round has come to pass. Until then, we're going to be playing it right here, right now. Mikey keeping up the mid-aggression, still managed to find the advantage because of it. And it looked for a while there like BC.Game have actually learned what to do up against Sinners, because they've always gone an aggressive out here on middle. They've really just held down the line, waited for something to happen from Sinners. But it looks like they just handed all caution to the wind right now. They're just going in all 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 into middle, trying their best. But they are going to get absolutely demolished. Oscar, well done in that round as well. Shuts them down neatly with the AWP. And this is going to be an even Steven 6-6 half coming through for Sinners and BC.Game.
Yeah, it was a big swing round when it was, what, 6-3, and they win that eco round where they had the 2 saved, or they had AK and AWP saved over. When Beastic's able to get that 3K, it's a massive swing round. It completely changes the confidence and changes how this game is got played out. And I just saw there, yeah, so Beastic, the reason why he had an AK is because he was saving an MP9. Sassanito goes to hunt him, gives him the AK, and that AK is basically the reason why it's a 6-6 scoreline. Sinners, they've gone flawless in the pistol rounds. They've won 3 rounds quite aggressively in a row, which has changed a lot of the momentum of the game. Can they go 4-for-4 on pistol rounds right now in this map? And if they do, they'll be taking the lead for the first time since they won the pistol round the first half.
True. Definitely a much needed pistol round, and they're definitely feeling confident as well, right? Going 3-for-3 right now. They'd love to hit the 4th, but let's see if BC.Game can take advantage of that. Let them peek into them. Let them just try to play their angles and see who wins out these duels. Prime Taps, the only one without a half armor on the defuse kit and the smoke. And they're all either towards B or towards middle right now. They've left A side completely empty, and that's an okay call right now because Sinners, they're all concentrated down towards middle as well, and they knew that that would be the case right here. Oscar trying out his luck on the Glock, finds Kakanito down on connector, opens up the A side, and the bomb is going to be headed there as well. But here comes the fast retake right now. It's only going to be a 2v3 actually happening onto the side as Anarchist is trying out his luck. The USP hardly connects on a headshot, but there it is in the end. The bomb not planted yet, still playing in towards Ninja. Oh, Mikey was all left alone. Bomb dropped, and you could see Sinners not being together really hurt him in the end. They have to retake on the bomb right now, 35 seconds only, and the P250 not connecting on anything there on ramp. Gonna run out of bullets, probably is gonna be overrun as well. Morishko finds a good one there on the Glock, but needs to do so much more, and I just don't think he's gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, that was a massive kill when Anarchist was able to kill Oscar in CT. That was a fantastic kill. Like, that was the one kill that I think for me changed everything, because it meant just that Mikey was completely by himself on the bomb side. A real lack of unison here in the pistol round from Sinners. It felt like that Oscar was able to take space towards A, and only one player reacted, and that was the player with the bomb. Morisco was still in B apartments. Like, it was all just kind of all over the place. And that lack of unison is the reason why BC Gaming is able to finally pick up a pistol round, and at a very important time. This is the only time that it's ever been properly quite close in the series, and now with the bomb being denied, it's going to be Sinners on an eco, and BC are going to be able to pull away a little bit more with this affair.
A little bit. Let's see the MP9s try to go for this one though, because they need to find these kill bonuses, especially Anarchist wants to go in for that AWP. He hasn't been having the greatest of Mirages, right? And that's the big difference maker out here into this Mirage comparing to Dust 2. Because before, Anarchist was over 22 kills back on Dust 2. The fact that right now he is down to 4 to 8 is why we're getting to see such a close game, right?
That was the difference back on the first map. So here, Sinners, they have everything laid out. It's a close game. They just have to play their advantages. Play it a bit more slowly, in my opinion, because right now, BC.Game, they were very impatient when it came down to that B side. Let's see if that's going to be the case out here for the CT side as well. But for now, that's not looking like the case. The Glocks are all going to be going on down. It is an eco after all, but Oscar still manages to shut down the man in question. So, will he be going in for a glass cannon? I don't believe so. No need to really do that. But BC.Game will have the advantage.
Yeah, man. Go for the glass cannon. Yeah, man. Have fun. But yeah, I was kind of looking. I was like, okay, Oscar's having a great. He's having a great game. He's been a big reason why some of those final rounds were won for Sinners. And then you look over at Anarchist and you're like, okay, well, he ended the half with 3 kills. He most certainly was not in that same momentum. But now on the C side, when the AWP does come out, I really think he is going to be the difference maker. Sinners, they were very aggressive on the CT side towards middle. Now on the T side, nothing will change. They're going to be equally as aggressive, taking this space very early on top middle. Smokes down in connector, smokes down in window, and it's actually going to be Oscar that takes the opening space towards ramp. Issue is going 1-for-1. Prime Tap's now going to be able to take a lot of control towards ramp, and Shock, he's been heard jumping up into window. All of a sudden, this is falling apart for Sinners, and it's because of Joel.
That was Joel also peeling away for his teammate there. That could have been an opener onto Anarchist down for Sniper's Nest, and it really would have sowed the seeds of paranoia out here for BC.Game. Are they going back to A? Are they still just trying to lurk around for the B side? What are they doing here? But now that Joel has found them both, they've got the man advantage. This is absolutely perfect for BC.Game into the full buy round. Oh my goodness. He's still 6-8. The amount of consistency this guy has is absolutely insane. But it's also the reason why BC.Game are in the point that they're in right now, right? Dust 2, 13-8. Now they're going to be taking the advantage most likely onto Mirage as well. He's enabling this 2-0 out here for his team. And let's see if he goes even further and beyond. Oh, he almost did. That's the triple kill into the round for Joe. Marishko, last man standing, half HP only. He's going to try to tap away the bomb. Oh, he's actually going to stick it. At least a little bit more cash to the bank out here for the team side. But not for a while. There you go, 9-6.
I like that from Letcro. I think I prefer Letcro playing for the round more than trying to deny that bomb. I think that works out much better. But for me, that's a round where I'm quite confused by this aggression from Sinners. You see, Mikey goes up short. You have Shock jumping into window. You have Oscar pushing up towards ramp. This is not normally the type of gameplay that I see from Sinners, where you have a lot of disparity between individuals fighting a lot of different angles, but also very individualistic, and it has a lot of comparisons to what we saw in the pistol round, where it felt like there was a very disjointed T side, and right there, that's the first gun round that, sure, Joel gets a triple and he plays amazing, but he also shot 2 players in the back of the head because they're playing very like out of sync and taking space where it's allowing for Joel to succeed. And I'm not a huge fan of Oscar taking that first contact and ramp and going 1-for-1. I feel like that isolated the players in middle to make a move. They made a move and it was their demise. A quick technical pause, but back into it. Anarchist gets the AWP dropped over by Prime Tap. He's going to be ready, locked and loaded. Sinners, they're going to be on a low buy. Oscar does have enough money for a scout, and there is a fair bit of weaponry when it comes to Deagle armor. However, BC.Game, they're looking to go flawless here on the CD side so far. They're vying for double digits, and I think Oscar's going to go for an opening attempt of an opening pick towards middle. Insta window smokes a little bit later. No one's actually there to contest. It's going to be a double play towards short instead.
It is. What I would love to see right now is seeing your point being made by the coach of Sinners right now. Taking out the tactical pause instead of the technical and try to really get them to play a little bit more together. Because as you mentioned, yes, they are kind of just all over the place right now. They're not playing together. And as they're going to be trying it, Kakanito is just going to be putting a wrench in this spanner. As he's going to be able to find the first frag onto B-Stick. Mikey going to be looking in for the trade back, but Advigo does manage to connect. Okay, this does work out for something. Will Joel be the second target, or is he going to be able to find the trade back instead?
Sassy did not have to peek there. He gets the first kill. He has another player with him in short. He doesn't need to go for that aggressive stance. Regardless, though, I think it's going to be working out for them. Oscar with the scout goes for an aggressive play up short, misses his shot, and also is getting attacked from two different fronts. Alongside that, look at what PrimeTaps has been doing in this round. He's cleared out the whole of ramp, he's cleared out the whole of palace. Unfortunately, it's been an insane timing where Shock has now come into ramp after PrimeTaps has cleared it out, but he's still in a very aggressive position where they know it's towards A, and he has to actually perform now, because look at this, Lekra has killed both players towards B. They are now going to re-evaluate themselves, go towards that bomb site. Shock has identified PrimeTaps, and Anakaz is not in a position where he's going to be able to deny this bomb going down. All of a sudden, Morisco's Deagle has made this round winnable, and it's made it, well, probably one actually, because PrimeTaps gets caught off, and Anakaz, I don't think, can go for this. He has to save the AWP.
That was amazing from Marishko. The whole round was playing in the palm of BC.Game. They were all protecting each other. They were trading each other around. They were absolutely doing everything that is needed. And then you just get to see Marishko just clear out short with a single deagle. That is absolutely amazing coming into it. So right now, even though Mikey and Shock were left down to low HP, Anarchist bringing out the USP here is going to be able to find a kill, but that's all he'll get. They lose out the round 9-7, and suddenly Sinners are back in the game off the back of a single player. Let's see it again. Yeah, I'd love to see this. So the Deagles this round really made a huge difference. Mikey finds the first on that Kakanito peak that you mentioned wasn't really needed. I do agree, but here Marishko, the fact he finds them both is just absolutely game-changing. This could be the ticket back into the game for Sinners.
Yeah, over aggression, over peeking. You had a nice play where you had Anakez on site holding down a deeper angle with the AWP. You had Joel and Sassanito on short. It was a nice play, and then people over peeking has allowed Sinners a way back into this. PrimeTaps, though, he does not care. We were praising his anchoring. We were praising the fact that he seems to be able to get consistent multi-frags while in these positions, and he's done so, already got one. Now with his smoke towards Palace, he's able to give his full focus towards ramp, but a lumbered spray onto Mikey puts it back to a 4 versus 4. In the meantime, though, has been big aggression towards the B part of the B side of the map. The other extremity, Joel and Sassanito have cleared all of that out, and look, they're already close to pushing towards ramp. The bomb hasn't even gone down yet, and both Anakez and Lekro are just biding their time in ramp, waiting for these players to push from behind.
This is a great setup for the retake. Let's see, Joel, can he clear out Palace fast enough to be able to take these guys down? Shock has no idea, and there you go. Shock is going to fall down, and this is going to be turning the tides as BC.Game are going to be moving into the side. B-Stick is going to get spotted as well. Kakanito finds him, and this is absolutely amazing on the retake for BC.Game. It all works out as planned, and everything pays off in the end as Oscar's going to fall down next. Double digits are going to be secured. PrimeTaps have the opportunity there as well. The timing was great on the pre-fire for the A1S. Just didn't manage to actually find the full spray. Even though that happened, it doesn't matter. The bomb gets planted, and the retake just goes amazingly out here for BC.Game. As that flank back around from the double, from Joel, and I believe it was from Kakanito as well, just pays off in dividends right now. 10-7, Sinners. They had a way back in, and now I feel like they lost it again.
That was a rough round. Way too slow on getting that bomb down, and even though B-Stick was actually very aware of Sassanito coming in on ramp, Shot gets caught off on Palace, and sure, PrimeTaps doesn't get a multi on the anchoring, but it's a lovely reaction from the other players. Really fast, very decisive. However, Oscar not deterred, coming head-to-head with Sassanito in middle. The AWP reigns supreme on that opening frag, and now Sinners with a man advantage and mid-control. What can they do with this?
Play the extremities right now for BC.Game at the very least. 2 on B, 2 on A. Sinners, they've still left the bomb down on rotation. We do get to see Mikey pick it up. Prime Taps is gonna go down as well. Shock redeeming himself from the last round, manages to clear out this side of the map as they're gonna be headed on over to B. BC Game could probably tell this. You see Joel still sticking around there alongside Lecro. BC is gonna be the first one up. Lecro spots him down as well. Mikey still gonna be able to find the trade back though. Joel looking in for even more. Can he get them? This man is already 21 and 10. He is actually pulling through so much for BC Game. Can he keep it up? Things is pushing short happening right now, but instead Anarchist looks on down onto apartments, finds the op, and 2v2 now from a 2v5 and make that a 2v1. No way that they managed to find this BC Game. This is insane, and it's all up to Joel and Anarchist, and these two have made the game time and time again, but Shock actually finds a frag onto Anarchist, and now it's all up left to Joel, who finds the long-range spray to connect the round in the end.
Okay, I have no idea how that round's been won out by BC Game, and I guess when Joel is alive, you can never count the round as won. That was what, a 2 versus 4, and Joel gets 4 kills in total in the whole round. Morisco, for me, I thought he was going to be the difference maker. He was playing this late burner over towards the A-bomb site. He was coming from behind. He could have just gone through market and killed Anarchist in the back, but instead he makes noise jumping up the short, and that's allowed Joel to neutralize him. I was a little bit concerned with Joel leaving Anarchist alone, but he still clutches up. Regardless, though, it's another opening kill here for Sinners, but swiftly traded from Anarchist. He's coming into his own. He's died once so far, I think, on the city side, or twice. And these Deagles, we've seen what they can do before, Atro. Let's make sure we don't make the same mistake, BC Game.
Yeah, Sinner's just seemingly invincible in the ecos, man. Just going for the Eagles time and time again if it works like this. It's again Joel and Anarchist left in a 2v4, and oh, it's working again, Freddy! What is going on? You think for a second that, okay, they found all the frags needed to be able to win an eco round. The Eagles are going insane, and now we're left in a 1v2 after it was Joel and Anarchist again to be denying it. This is absolute madness coming in from this duo.
Yeah, kind of just reiterating the point I just made. You can never count a round out when Joel's alive, but also Anarchist. He's in tip-top shape. Round though, still plausible. Morisco, 34 HP, no armor, and a scout. But he does have a lot of space to work with. The A-bomb site currently has nobody on it. Anarchist is playing very deep. He has no idea where Morisco is, and he doesn't want to put himself into an advanced position and be that his demise. He wants to get the sound cue and then play this 1 versus 2 with Joel. He's more than happy to let the bomb get planted. The tap has not been heard. Now with the bomb being planted, we're going to get that information that Morisco is on the A-bomb site. He has a bit of time to work with, but cannot cross over towards CT safely. Ooh. He's crossed the triple safely. Okay, that's a lot more than I anticipated. And he gets a tag onto Anarchist. Unfortunately, though, here comes the Swede. 26 and 10. This man is an absolute machine. BC Game, map and series point in their debut on HLTV.
If Joel wasn't here, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have won Mirage here, but I'm also not sure if they would have won Dust 2. Anarchist played the hell out of that first map as well, but this is just something else coming out of Joel. Absolute godly performance onto their first debut match, yes, as you mentioned, for the best of 3 on HLTV. And Sinners are sadly just the victims of that, right? They are just going to be coming into this one for their first game away from the play break as well out here into the CCT and just saying, okay, we're ready to go back in, we're ready to play. And honestly, they didn't put up the worst of performances. It's just you're going up against such a rared up and revving Joel, Kakanito, and Anarchist 4 right now. That is absolutely insane. Joel even goes in for that wide swing, connects onto Mikey, looks in for even more, and this man is truly looking unstoppable.
Okay, finally does get stopped. Maybe a little bit over-aggressive, but that's when Sassinito steps in and saves him. Equally having a very impressive performance, but overshadowed by his counterparts. Round could be a little bit dangerous. Nice play with the grenade in the smoke, but Oscar mediates some of that danger. 2 versus 2, bomb can be re-picked up. Anarchist in market. He's a known entity. You can see him and Beastic currently dueling. And Prime Tap, they know he's towards A because he threw the grenade to support Sassanito in connector. Anarkez, though, a very tight angle, will snap onto it. The Israeli, the sniper, sharp as ever, and Oscar. I've mentioned him and Guardian have a very rich history, competing against each other for more years than I might have even been alive. And now, in a 1 versus 2, to keep Sinners alive, not only in this map, but in this series, still making his presence known, saying to them that he's still towards B, bomb being planted, nade, chips him down even further, Prime Taps looking to lead the charge, both players coming from door. Oscar has the right idea, holding the angle, misses the first shot. Prime Taps jumps over his crosshair, swings back in, lands it onto Anarkez, but the German, the youngster coming from Big Academy, now in the big leagues, clutches it up, 13-7. BC Gaming on their debut. They have most certainly made a statement.
What a way to go down. Oscar should have won that one in my mind, but it's still going to be BC Game at the end of the day, taking themselves on over to the 1-0 out here into the Swiss stage. Very well played, and I'm very happy with what they've put up on the board here, Freddy. I'm definitely looking forward to see even more coming out of them, but if they can keep up this form and they continue to play like this, then I definitely think that these guys are going to be a top 40 contender, for sure.
I'd say even higher. Like, the fact that Joel went 26-12 on map 1 and then was 27-11 on map 2, like, that's fantastic in itself. But then you have like Sassanito playing fantastically, Prime Taps looks like an Ango who's playing well above his age, and Anarkez, the consistency with the AWP.
Struggled a lot on that T side, ended the first half with only 3 kills, but then was a big reason why they were able to win some of those later 2vx's, and ultimately as well that 2 versus 2 at the end to close out the map. BC Game, I think a lot of people knew that this was going to be a very competitive roster. When it got announced, you have a very experienced coach in Guardian. There's evidently some backing financially, and with a lot of very key pieces. The only issue I do see is Letcro having very poor performances in both games, having 3 kills in map number 2 and over